What's going on, everybody? It's Brian McQuillan here reporting for Fan Sport Industries with another NBA video. And today I'm going to talk about the Orlando Magic and why I think they're legit contenders in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, looking at their roster, Paolo, Banchero, and Franz Wagner are the guys who headline this roster. Paolo Banchero really taken a huge leap in his second year. The reigning Rookie of the Year is already averaging 21 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. We saw him go toe-to-toe in Boston, where Magic ultimately fell short to the Celtics, but he kept them in that game, finishing with 36. He's taken a huge step, and he should be a first-time All-Star, especially if the Orlando Magic are on top of the Eastern Conference as they are right now. The Orlando Magic also have multiple scorers on all three levels of the game. Looking at Franz Wagner, who's probably their most consistent scorer, averaging 20 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, just under 4 assists. He's a very efficient scorer, one of the most underrated scorers in the league. He truly made a name for himself last year for the Orlando Magic, but now that they're on top of the Eastern Conference and beating good teams and hanging in with Boston and just beating teams that people probably counted them out last year, Wagner's truly making a name for himself and putting the Orlando Magic on the map. Because the last couple of years they've struggled, they've been in the top lottery picks, but the Orlando Magic are a serious threat, and that really goes to these two scorers. And along with the scorers, you got to look at their perimeter defense, led by Jalen Suggs, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, averaging 1.7 steals per game. If you watch the Orlando Magic play, he guards the other team's best player night in and night out. He's ferocious on the perimeter. He doesn't back down in the post. He can also score the ball. He's done a better job of hitting the three-point ball, getting to the free throw line. Jalen Suggs has been, he was a little quiet his first couple of years in the league, being a top 5 pick in the draft, but he's been huge for the Orlando Magic, and his perimeter defense is just lifting the play of his teammates and taking the pressure off Paolo Banchero defensively. And alongside the names I just mentioned, the guard depth for this Orlando Magic really is no joke. Gary Harris, Anthony Black, Cole Anthony's been huge this year, Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac obviously more of a forward, but they have depth, and that's what makes this team scary. And when Jet Howard progresses, when Anthony Black takes those next couple steps, both top 11 draft picks, this Orlando Magic team is very deep, and they can be very scary. They're young. I think they're probably a couple years away from really, contending when it comes to playoff time. But getting into a, top 4 seed come playoff time this year would be huge for the progression of this team, and just huge for Orlando in general, because they've been struggling the last couple of years. Haven't made a conference final since Dwight Howard was there. Haven't made the playoffs in the last couple of years, but they have all NBA caliber players, and Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, but they just have guys who have stepped up, and that starts with the guard play. Cole Anthony has been huge for the team so far. He's on the upper half of the team in scoring. He's just been huge in terms of taking pressure off Markelle Fultz, taking pressure off Paolo Banchero. This has been nice where Banchero and Wagner have struggled, but Cole Anthony has picked up the slack, really making a name for himself and one of the better backup point guards in the NBA. The other Wagner brother, and Mo Wagner, has been huge for the Orlando Magic as well, having a career year averaging 11.6 points and 4 rebounds. He's really played a lot. Obviously with Jonathan Isaac still getting his way back into the lineup, coming off those injuries the last couple of years. He's been a serious threat for this Orlando Magic team, having his best year, obviously, playing alongside his brother. The chemistry is definitely evident. You can talk all day about the players, but you got to give credit to Jamal Moseley, really just setting in a great game plan for the Orlando Magic, a team that is fourth in the NBA in points allowed at just under 110 points per game. So defensively, they're there, and they have multiple scoring options. This team is a threat offensively and defensively, and as I said, you got to give credit to Jamal Moseley and the rest of the coaching staff. People probably did not have the Orlando Magic finishing in the top half of the Eastern Conference, but they've done a great job of defending the ball, of hitting the long-range three, and just really being efficient around the rim. And that's what makes the Orlando Magic scary. They're also young. They're going to have their bumps and bruises this season, but the Orlando Magic are a team that people have to watch out for, and if they get hot at the right time, they can make a run in the playoffs.